yes, he was so at that time it was in British Columbia, Canada. He was taken into the heavenly realm bodily, away from the truck as if it was annihilated. And I'll be very frank, that was an oh shit moment for him, because it was there that the angels, hi boss, good to see you again, and they're reminding him, you're the big kahuna from now on, this time on. When you go back, you've got to, you now have
Take
to...
on Lucifer in the churches.
Yeah, take on Lucifer in the churches and convince mankind of who you are. Now, you know what a big, huge task. And was he pleased? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. It's like, actually, his reaction is like, who's the idiot who thought this up in the first place? It's like, well... And I often say to him, why did you do this? Why did you do that? And the answer is always the same: to make it as difficult as possible for me. Brian, as Yahweh, as God, here with us, God in the flesh, as a man, has had to overcome everything as a man does. Not as the all-powerful, omnipotent, omnipresent God who can, you know, speak and you know, the heavens and earth disappears. No, but to overcome with the power of his mind and intellect and face all the circumstances that we, as man, in the flesh experience. And that means crucifixion, because a lot of you out there have been crucified. You've been suffering all of your lives through one event to another event. And I would tell you, because you've arrived at this point in time where you've found us now, and you've been sealed, and so the suffering has been your refining, the sharpening of the sword, so that by the time you find us, you are ready for the ultimate truth, and you have been made useful for the purposes of the kingdom of heaven, which comes to the earth. And of course, you are our offspring. So each one of our lives, the suffering is different, and is why, as Jesus, he said the first time round, to take up our cross. Well, our crosses are different sizes and shapes, etc., and they're designed, and they are our lives. So no two lives are exactly the same. And so rejoice, rejoice. So that's kind of covers. Now, Sheriff, in your own life, yes, you will, you've must have already dreams, visions, perhaps you might call them if they're in the waking hours, moments of deja vu, for example. Deja vu is a remembrance of something that has happened before, or felt like you've done this before. Well, we have. It's in the heavenly realm where everything has been played out. I call it the DVD. It's already being played out in the heavenly realm. And because we're in a time lag on the earth, we experience these things, and we are literally catching up to what we've already experienced in the heavenly realm. So let me see what else. Yes, I like that, your own paradigm shift. You did well to you said that you had chosen to investigate Lucifer, and it had you fooled, and you wanted to know why, and now you have a better understanding. No, you shouldn't fear Lucifer. Once you understand, no, you don't fear anything that comes from the enemy. And once, Sheriff, you've already reached immortality. The moment you did a retake and landed back at our site, and you accepted what Brian was teaching, what we're both saying, then you have reached the perfection of your soul, and that's what it's all about, life on this earth. It is about reaching the perfection of their soul, and why, at like the refiner's fire is silver, it's 7 times over. We're given up to 7 times to get it right. And this is why this period of time is called the fullness of times. We are at the end of that reincarnating opportunity to get it right. If those who have been here several times are back now for the judgment, haven't got it right this time, then sorry, it's like you're out of here. There are some, it's not taken 7 times. It might have taken once, been here once before, and they've been waiting in the heavenly realm. They're probably on the earth as children now, so that they don't have to fight the battle that we are fighting on their behalf, but just really be with us as we cross over into paradise and build heaven on the earth. paradise on the earth with God amongst us. So you have reached immortality of your body as well as your soul, Sheriff of Light. Now, Sheriff of Light. Okay, you were asking a question about Venus. You understand that Venus rotates clockwise, which is in the opposite direction to the rest of the planets in retrograde rotation. Your question was, since Venus rotates in retrograde to the others, is this the reason that Lucifer claims to originate from Lucifer as it is opposite? And I would say to you, no, that's not the reason. Lucifer claims Venus because Venus is the morning star which is given to the Lord Jesus Christ. It's his, and it's representative of his wife as being humankind. And Lucifer has laid claim to it. There's been many false teaching. They're calling him the morning star and all kinds of things. They've switched things around so that Lucifer, it looks like Lucifer does have a claim on Venus.
Well, the son of the morning is the Babylonian idea of Sirius A, which rises above the sun.
Right.
Right, that's how that comes about.
And this leads into your question about Sirius, Sheriff. You say, first of all, are you Yahweh, the human incarnation of the sun, the Divine Father, and Asherah, the human incarnation of the earth, the Divine Mother? I understand what you're getting at. It's kind of a mystic symbolism of us representing. Well, Yahweh is the creator. The Son is the created thing. He is, everything exists because of him, through him, and for him. And nothing can exist except that he has willed it. So the sun and the earth are the created. Now, of course, they would be, if you like, a temporal representation of us both, if you would like that, because nothing can exist. There is no life without the sun. So as he existed in the beginning as that thought, and then from out of himself, he brought me, Asherah, into being. You could say that we do represent, however, they are the created, and so not to be worshipped.
Synchronicity is the word.
Yes, yeah.
Synchronicity of the nuclear fusion rate of the sun can be found in the New Testament, because it's the amount of lords there are in verse total of the New Testament, which is the same as the nuclear fusion rate converting hydrogen to helium. 657 is the number, so it's 657 million tons per second converted into helium.
Right.
4.5 million tons is energy and light, so you end up with taking 4.5 away from the 657, and that's how many tons is left in helium. So it is a representation of a synchronistic idea of thought, how it all fits together. So it is a representation of, in numbers, synchronistic, and that is why the Great Pyramid has all these synchronistic numbers in it. That's why the Earth has all these synchronistic numbers in it. That's why the Moon is all to do with solar eclipses and lunation.
Okay. Now, Sheriff, you're asking where are we from? I see these people posting on the net claiming memories of being from Sirius. Do those of us... okay. I've answered your question on immortality. You've reached there. And everybody who accepts Brian and myself today, again, it's the perfection of the soul. It's about recognizing truth. The truth will set you free.
The universe is... every star is created. It's a thought process before it comes into existence. It's all based on hydrogen.
Right. Okay. But there is nobody who comes from Sirius.
No.
You are our offspring.
There's no life in space.
There's no aliens. There's no... I'll cover, because there's a question about an intergalactic federation and transmissions of thought and
wait a minute, here comes an alien now.
Announcements from people from Sirius. No, it is all absolute bunk and disinformation designed to...
this is little Tara sneaking past, not trying to be noticed.
Hi!